Welcome everybody to this edition of BEATNIX. It is BEATNIX night, the first Wednesday of the month. Welcome. It's April 5th, 2023. The time is flying, but staying still at the very same time. It's BEATNIX night, and we're celebrating the Nuyorican diaspora here at the legendary Nuyorican Poets Café, celebrating 50 years in existence. And I'm your host, Caridad de la Luz, La Bruja. And I just celebrated my Bruja-versary, 27 years since I wrote my name on an open mic list to spit. It was a lunar eclipse. It was 1996, April 3rd. My spoken word the first time was heard, and I emerged as a Nuyorican poet in these walls. If these bricks could talk, oh my goodness, the stories we would hear. But tonight we have some special guests. We have Toni, Blackman, Edgar, Emilio, and Youth Poet Laureate Stephanie Pacheco from the BX, who's gonna open up this session of BEATNIX right now. Stephanie Pacheco is a Black Latinx poet, student, and organizer from the South Bronx. She is the 2023 New York City Youth Poet Laureate and a member of the 2022 New York City Youth Slam team, as well as a Black Girl Magic Fellow with the Urban Word in New York City. She's been leading, organizing, strategizing with several activist organizations and working to mobilize youth across the city against educational injustice. She's been seen on the Today Show and everything, but now you're gonna see her live here on BEATNIX, ladies and gentlemen. Show some love for Stephanie Pacheco. Woo!
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Let's get into some poems. All right. My peer walks up to the blackboard, writes in white chalk, is language a parasite, and asks our thoughts. Room steers in the direction of prestige philosophy, but my brain thinks bloodsucker, thinks inhabiting the being of one who did not ask for the invasion, thinks people as sacrifice. My mind fades to blank, fades to white, takes me back to my fourth grade classroom. Teacher who corrected the disobedient words of every student. That ain't mine, that isn't mine. Don't speak like that. Takes me back to how teachers was wildin', be telling us to speak a language that eats away at us and kills, stay making us feel like we don't belong on the only land we've ever called home, tied our tongues in a knot and demanded compliance, ripped everything we've ever known out of our mouths, beat it into submission. My mind fades to blank, takes me to my block where we speak Black American corner store linguistics. Dead ass. Switch. How do you expect people to respect you when you speak like that? Switch. This is why they treat you like that. Switch made it seem like our words buried us in our own graves. Dead ass, my mind fades to blank, takes me to a Dominican hair salon, to the woman who scolded every ill-mannered, comb-breaking coil on my head, held on to her colonizer's language with confused pride, translated pelo malo into nappy-headed, called me both in the same lifetime. My mind fades to blank. It was the Parsley Massacre, white-armed Dominicans by order of a dictator hunting for blood, took to the border of Haiti and DR, interrogated every dark skin too close to the other side that looked apart, held machetes to their throats and asked them to pronounce perejil, parsley in Spanish. Those who could form their mouths in the shape of Spain, rolled their R's like pleas for their lives, were set free. Those whose tongues remained untied were slaughtered. My mind fades to blank. I wish I knew my grandmother. Dark skin, comb breaking too close to the other side. I spent years wondering why she could never claim being Haitian or call herself negra with her head held up to cover on the other side of the border. Was language a parasite that made her sick? Tied who she was in a knot, planted it in forgotten soil for unsafe keeping, beat her into Dominican. These languages be invasive species, tie tongues into nooses, hang them from a family tree rooted in the dirty lands of ethnic cleanses, call you Negro, call you Negra in the same lifetime. My peer asked if language is a parasite, and I wish I knew my mother tongue so I could respond without a blood-sucking, sacrificing, leeching illness, muffling my words. My mind fades to blank. The only languages I can speak are the ones I've been beaten with. I respond to the question saying, ain't I walking proof of people who have been infected?
Wow.
This next poem, thank y'all so much. This next poem is additionally about like the conflict that I sometimes experience being in between the identity of being Black and being Latinx. So here's me as a cassette tape. My block always seemed to have music playing. One side of the street would lay their backs on the doors of their cars, playing R&B and hip hop like gospel, and let all the children be the choir. The other side perked up their chairs and made home out of boom boxes. They played a song made more for the swaying of the hip, sung love letters to their home countries and named it bachata. These streets would sing to me, and the songs did not always interrupt each other. Often they would harmonize and sing along to a common beat, would sound like some beautiful blend, like two sides of one cassette tape. Playback. Side A. I learned young that you must know your hood like you know yourself. Know your turns around avenues like the back of your hand or the bend of your spine. You must find your way home and keep it in your fist. You need to know where you're going. Side B, I don't always know where I'm going, meaning that I do not know where I am from. My family touched down here more years ago than I can count, and I've been looking for home ever since. Side A, I know I am home. Every time I leave the Bronx, my body is anxious to return. The sound of the 4 train crossing into 161 sounds like trumpets and drums playing at heaven's gates. I feel my lungs release a longing exhale from the deepest parts of themselves. I've made home out of uptown New York City, and I know it welcomes me with its arms sprawled out like the hugs my father's country never gave me, like the embrace I could never find on the island. I know I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but here. Side B, I wonder what it's like anywhere else but here. Not that it hurts, but I don't know what the world looks like beyond this concrete. I know people who speak of the Dominican Republic as if it were a paradise. When they are here, they long to be on the island. When they're on the island, they dread docking their ships here. The time I visited the country stands alone in the sea. I swear I could have cried myself into another ocean with all the tears of homesickness I shed. If I were constantly surrounded by that much water, it would only provoke my fear of drowning. Side A, bodega sign hues and street lights are the only illumination I need. They light my block just enough so I do not fold into myself at the sight of shadows. When I was young, I used to skip around all over these sidewalks, jolting my body into the air towards that light, propelling myself forward onto my sparkling streets. This light, these paths, this is all I need. Side B, I heard in the Caribbean, the sun beams as if your bare body were orbiting around it with no gear. Sometimes my skin longs for its heat. If I basked in its light more often, would I become golden in reflection of its glow? Would I finally look like some distant ancestor, like anyone? This paleness makes me look like I have no traceable lineage. If only there were a song or a sun that could trail me back home. Side A, all roads lead to home. I can trace my lineage on the Black outlines of graffiti bubble letters, their colors hollering in every shade of earth and imagination. You can't miss it. The tag names stationed on these walls are of people whose presence I feel and hold in my heart, but I do not know well. They are just like me in that way, side B. On the island, they dance in groups. There's a dance that rhythms like an African spiritual. They call it palo, meaning drumstick, meaning the beat of a drum. We didn't lose this when the ships docked. Bear witness to how spirits join you in motion, side A. On the block, we dance in groups. We make beats on our own drums. We clap our hands in rhythm here. Sidewalk ciphers, dance battles, church prayers, and soul train lines all look like ritual. We didn't lose this when the ships docked. We are the spirits joined in motion, side B. I am plátano black. Se habla español black. Lost at sea and lost everywhere black. I am rice, beans, and chicken. I am pelo malo. I am social caste system black. I am the first stop on the slave ship in a withering dream of freedom, side A. I am concrete black. I am bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll, salt, pepper, ketchup black. I am dark mornings and bright nights black. I am a cookout in Claremont Park. I am light feet and Harlem shake and no music and get sturdy and Vogue down. I am hair grease and laid edges. I am Schomburg Center Archives black. I am been here forever and ain't going nowhere black. I am the dream of freedom, side B. I've forgotten where I come from, or maybe I never knew at all, side A. I've always known where I come from. I've known all along. This is my home and I belong here, side B. I am from a people that I've forgotten, side A. I am from a people that are forgotten, side B. I was born to remember, side A. I was born to be remembered. And then the music plays. Thank you. Wow. This next poem I wrote when I was a baby poet, but it was in response. It's an after poem after Martina Espada, an incredible Nuyorican poet who I was simply trying to pay tribute to and write a poem in response to. So this is after Martina Espada, and I call it This Is the Year. This is the year that every Black girl on the block lets their hair out to speak with the sun, and the concrete sings a gospel tune with two swinging ropes on beat. This is the year that empty dining tables in every grand concourse apartment shall have the grandest feast, be the first supper, like turning water into wine. This is the year that there is no water leaking from the ceiling, where faucets run clear in Flint, and sunken kin rise from the ocean, sending a wave of revival crashing on shore. This is the year that pavement gardens grow to more than a rose, when the concrete jungle becomes a rainforest, where we let the community fire hydrant flow like we do every year anyway. This time with more to be celebrated and more flowers to let bloom. This is the year that precincts are replaced with basketball courts and community centers. Wailing sirens are obsolete, and those who left empty spaces on the block filled by only their memory make their grandest return. The OGs replenish the block with their rejoice of freedom, and every cell in Rikers whistles an empty wind. This is the year that mama calls off job 1 and 2, props up burning feet and chemical wrinkling hands up on the couch, and no tears drop from her eyes from the scorch of cleaning someone else's home to survive. This is the year that there are no gunshots, no brutal cop, no sixth-floor mother watching with her palms clasping each other, sending silent prayers to whoever's baby that may be. There will be no body on the ground and no funeral the following weekend. This is the year that the Bronx is not on fire, where we sit on castle thrones instead of piles of rubble, and charred insurance money vanishes from the hands of slumlords. This is the year that the Whole Foods in Harlem turns into a jazz club, where we call for a second Harlem Renaissance and our hum tunes of liberty are sent into the air. This is the year that every school has every notebook, every pencil, every brand name crayon box waiting on brand new desks, every mirror teacher and the textbooks trace stories to the other side of the middle passage, speaking the names of Asada Shakur and Harriet Tubman. This is the year that cramped public housing apartments are renovated into mansions, and property owners and gentrifiers are locked out at the gate. If the handed meals of our youth began with the idea that none of us should know hunger better than we know ourselves, then this is the year. If rebellions were crafted by the exhaust of worn souls and the heat of whipped backs who refused to take another, then this is the year. If we built a nation with our own hands and determined it our diction to turn it into dust, if we deem it never being of use, then this is the year. If empires were built, it means they can crumble. So may all of our forgotten people know abundance, and may every disempowered soul with wrists all bruised and blistered claim their existence to be righteous and take their freedom into their own hands. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Wow, that was beautiful. Stephanie Pacheco, let them know how to follow you. And
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. You got muted. Hold on. Let's unmute you.
Okay, here we go. So I'm on Instagram at okay.steph. So OKAY period STEPH. I'm working on building my Instagram back up, so y'all caught me at a good time. So yeah, let's stay connected.
All right. Thank you, Stephanie. Studying in BMCC, representing the Boogie Down. Just beautiful work. That was amazing. Muchas gracias. So we're going to keep it going, keep it flowing. Now we're going to go to Puerto Rico by way of Florida right now. Edgar Emilio, independent author, artist, and entrepreneur from Puerto Rico who is currently residing in Florida. He's digesting his surroundings and exploring deep philosophical concepts in a simplified, everyday language. Emilio has published 3 books independently, one of them #1 bestseller on Amazon for several weeks. He is an MC, ferocious poet, amazing. You can follow him, Edgar Emilio, on Instagram, and I think that's his website also, right? .com.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hey.
How you
So,
doing?
first of
Welcome
all,
to BEATNIX.
Stephanie, hey, thank you for the invitation. Stephanie, great work. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing here. Second of all, can I get an emoji from everybody that can actually speak Spanish? Because I want to bring you some value right now. I want to make sure that you guys understand what I'm about to bring to the table. Okay, so most of us are English speakers. All right, so let's switch it up. Y lo volvemos, ahora estamos regresando a nuestro idioma, a la isla. Y siempre que me preguntan que por qué hablo de esta manera, arrastramos la R, ¿verdad? Los boricuas tenemos una manera peculiar de hablar y esto también refleja en los Nuyoricans. Y cuando me escuchan hablar, siempre me preguntan de dónde yo soy. Y yo siempre les digo, no sabes dónde yo nací. Nunca has escuchado hablar así. Yo soy de donde se hacen las canciones que tú escuchas por ahí. Nunca has escuchado nada del coquí, de comida o mujeres de aquí. Gente feliz y buena, aunque estén debajo de otro país. Yo sí. Yo soy de donde las estrellas se ven un poco más brillantes. Nunca he escuchado hablar de esta gente desde los tiempos de antes, como Tito en el ring, como Tito con los timbales, como Tito de La Vega, Tito Nieves y otros cantantes. Yo soy de donde mezclamos las sonrisas y el dolor con 365 días enteros de calor. Yo he visto muchas cosas y nunca he visto nada mejor. Es que tú aquí es especial, no es que los otros sean peor, pero yo soy de donde en el país nadie se pone la bandera, pero la ve en todos lados siempre que estamos afuera, donde no nos quitan las ganas de vivir ni aunque dejaran que casi 5,000 murieran. No nos hablan con la verdad, pero somos gente sincera. Dicen que hablamos como cantado y lo que hago es hablar, si ellos supieran, donde siempre estamos cerca de toda la isla entera y si no hay dinero aquí se josea de cualquier manera y si solo me hablas de dinero no sabes lo que es ser rico. Yo soy del sitio que me hizo a mí desde el 90 y pico. No sé qué más decirte, de qué otra forma te lo explico. Yo soy del Caribe, más específico de Puerto Rico. Y mi nombre es Edgar Emilio, es un placer estar aquí hoy con ustedes. Ese es el primer poema de la noche, se llama De dónde soy. Y de dónde soy es de Puerto Rico, como puedes ver. Viviendo en la isla y siendo parte de la diáspora, siendo parte de estos boricuas que salieron a otros lados a buscar una mejor vida, siempre me paso pensando en aquellos días, ¿no? En los días de atrás, siempre estamos observando el pasado como con nostalgia y me pongo a pensar en los amigos de la escuela, en la comida de mi abuela, en sentarme a jugar cartas junto a la familia entera, la primera vez, aquellas vacaciones hacia afuera, las risas entre todo el grupo antes de que algunos se fueran, repasando sucesos para recordar cómo se siente el primer beso, las primeras salidas de adolescente. ¿Aquellos eran los buenos días o la memoria es muy borrosa? Porque entre tantas cosas, nunca extrañamos el presente. Déjame explicarte. ¿Qué pasará cuando extrañe donde estoy hoy? Cuando no tenga lo que tengo, cuando no sea lo que soy, cuando me falte esta gente y solo los tenga en la mente preguntándome si realmente soy feliz en donde estoy. Cuando mire este día pesado como el día al que quiero volver y pueda ver la pequeñez de mis problemas en ayer. Cuando vea estas cosas tontas con las que digo perder tiempo como cosas que me hacían quien quiero volver a ser. Quizá confundo lo que fue con lo que quisiera y me pierdo, porque cuando en recuerdo siempre parece mejor. Parece que cuando vives la vida en el carril izquierdo, los mejores momentos se ven por el retrovisor, contando lo vivido, ignorando lo que vivía, pensando en las horas de vida y no en la vida de las horas. Puede ser que ya pasaron, puede ser que aún vendrían, pero quizá aquellos buenos días los estamos viviendo ahora. Los buenos recuerdos de mañana son los que tenemos enfrente. Sin embargo, siempre esperamos a que hayan pasado para mirar para atrás y decir, coño, qué bueno era, ¿verdad? ¿Y por qué no apreciarlo ahora entonces si ya lo reconocemos? Normalmente, una de las cosas que hace que veamos el tiempo de esta manera es que percibimos la felicidad como una sola cosa enorme y grande. Por ejemplo, yo soy de los que piensa que la felicidad no es un solo evento grande que se presenta en tu vida, sino que está en las cosas pequeñas, como por ejemplo un café caliente en una mañana lluviosa, ir al gimnasio cuando tu cuerpo pide otra cosa, un mensaje que te cuesta solo 10 segundos, $4 que te cuesta una rosa, aprender 20 minutos más antes de irte a dormir o madrugar un sábado para trabajar en lo que sueñas, planear una broma solo por hacer a alguien reír. Las cosas pequeñas que te hacen feliz no son pequeñas, pero no lo notas cuando estás pensando en un aumento, en un contrato, fama, un carro, reconocimiento. Buscamos ese momento grande que cambia la vida sin notar que la vida nos cambia en todos los momentos. Es que voy a ser feliz cuando... Y así es que empieza. Solo me falta aquello para no sentir la tristeza. Ignorar los detalles y solo buscar la grandeza es querer montar un rompecabezas sin querer tocar las piezas, porque un campeonato solo son años de disciplina. El mundo entero solo es mucha gente. Un libro solo son letras que compaginan. Una vida buena solo es muchos días presentes. $1 solo son 100 centavos que botas. El éxito es pequeñas decisiones que no notas. El camino solo son muchos pasos seguidos. El océano solo son muchas gotas. No sé si estás entendiendo lo que te quiero decir. Esto es un poema que se llama Gotas, es parte de mi tercer libro. Y para cerrar, quiero traer las cosas de vuelta a casa, de vuelta a Puerto Rico. Y quiero ofrecerle a quien deba mis disculpas si pensé que también tenemos derecho. Los hoyos en las carreteras por caminos tan estrechos, los mensajes de rabia en graffiti por lo que han hecho, preocupados por paredes cuando hay personas sin techo. Mis disculpas si su vista es manchada por mi gente, si la playa es menos disfrutable cuando es nuestro ambiente. Pasamos de ser compueblanos a propiedad y luego de ser propiedad a inconveniente. Cuando estamos allá es demasiada inmigración. Cuando vienen acá, entonces se llama vacación. Cuando vivimos allá es deteriorando la comunidad, pero cuando ellos compran acá, solo expandiendo su inversión. Eso es la gentrificación. Ellos bajan de otra nación porque aquí pagan menos taxes, se compran una mansión y sus negocios suben el valor de todas las propiedades. Ahora a ti ya no te alcanza para pagar tu habitación. Ahora te tienes que mudar y lo llaman prosperidad. La policía nos mata y le llaman seguridad. Cuando nosotros respondemos, le llaman desobediencia. Nos llaman tercer mundo, como si quedaran más. Mis disculpas si mi acento no es el que tú preferías. Si el enojo que llevo adentro lo hace peor todavía. Entenderías más mis pasos si no borraran mi huella. Una sola estrella, pero esa estrella brilla todavía. Puerto Rico es reconocido por su belleza, por sus artistas, aunque no nos beneficiamos porque no somos los dueños. Puerto Rico es para empresas, para fotos y para turistas. En fin, Puerto Rico es para todos, menos para los puertorriqueños. Mi nombre es Edgar Emilio. Gracias por escuchar.
Edgar Emilio. Eso estaba, wow, súper poderoso. Speaking of gentrification and the displacement of Puerto Rico, the Puerto Ricans on the island, thank you so much. Eso estaba pero fenomenal y te deseo pues que logre todo lo que quiera en este mundo y en tu carrera artística. Muchas gracias. Ya sabes,
Muchas gracias a todos.
venga a Nueva York, que venga acá para poder, presentar in the physical here in the Nuyorican Poets Café. That is your home.
We'll make that happen before the year ends.
Eso sí, pues muchas gracias. Follow him, Edgar Emilio. Go to his website. Everything is there on his website. You can hear more. So much great work. And now I would like to introduce you to a person that I have shared so many stages with over the years. Powerful woman, poet, MC, healer. Toni Blackman was the first hip-hop ambassador and has been using hip-hop as a form of healing through her work. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, show some love, Toni Blackman.
I am an invisible woman. Not because people refuse to see me, they know I am here, but it's as if my womanness detracts from my existence, my presence too often mistaken for absence. I am an invisible woman whose words don't flow fast enough, whose beats just aren't fat enough, whose contribution goes unseen. They know I am here because I was there. See, I rock the mic as he did. I spit rhymes as he did. I bore hip hop as he did. We nurtured it. I am an invisible woman. I am an invisible woman. Now, I may not be seen, but I'll be damned if I won't be heard. And I like to begin with that poem. It's called The Feminine Voice in Hip Hop. And I wrote it years ago when I was very young. And I realized that as a woman, we often get erased from the narrative of hip hop. Hip hop is my culture and it is my artistic practice. I'm a practitioner at this time, as well as a poet, a hip hop artist, and Invisible Woman is that piece. I want to do a few more pieces and deciding where to begin. And I think I'll go from hip hop to the blues. And this piece is called The Pain, written for an album, a blues singer in Baltimore by the name of Kelly Bell. He's a next gen blues singer who commissioned me to write this piece for his album. And it is for the elders who weren't embracing his take on the blues. My life, a never-ending blues song, bears an uncanny resemblance to the face of God. My mama's pain-filled screams echo in the halls of eternity, for my birth was not my beginning, but the Black human continuum, kicking fiercely, fighting ferociously, fearlessly belting out the blues, fat and as long as forever. The waters may be muddy, the wolf may howl, but the pain is king, BB boy, and fat. Musicians of the world unite, do right, that the pain leads you to the light. And then Hopkins would say it's a sin to diss one's own kin. Fat blues coming to your neighborhood doorstep, friendly neighborhood grooves to your doorstep and your heart. Blues as brown as Ruth. So give me that old time religion, for I am a witness. See, Big Mama Thornton's hound dogs bark during my pain-filled prayers. So don't ask me why I like my blues fat. Ring my bell so I can feel the pain and place my blues upon the pulpit. Preach poetic profundities, pass on particularly powerful prophecies to the next generation, and let us bow our heads in tribute to this cosmic commune. Oh, great one, greater and bluer than you and I solemnly swear, promise and pledge to perpetually put forth the pain, to bring the pain as sure as the sky, so fat, so blue, as it too plays my song. Fat blues shall blare through the solar system, rising and setting like the sun, giving birth to life and loud pain-filled screams, resounding clearly in the heavens above, translucent and clear. Fat blues is here. Ring my bell, Kelly, just so I can feel the pain. And the blues piece, inspired by Eugene Redmond and Amiri Baraka and Jane Cortez. I wrote that piece after just being blessed, being able to be in the same room as them, listening to the poetry. And Justice. Abiel Dune requested that I write, I've been writing a lot of love poetry, a lot of meditation poems. And he had an event where he asked us all to write poems about justice. And this is what came out for me. And Abiel Dune from the Last Poets. Justice. Folks argue, people debate and ask what it is going to take. There's no reasoning with the unreasonable, especially when it's open season for the killing of melanin-rich beings. I want to put some words together, make some words make sense. I hate having to live life on the defense. It's always so intense. I just wanted a house and a white picket fence. To not live my life in suspense, wondering, watching, waiting for the next incident, a piece of peace, a slice of the American pie, a year of life where my people don't have to die needlessly from traumatic catastrophes. The winds of justice are gonna have to blow stronger so the future can be a safer place for living while Black, walking while Black, driving while Black, swimming while Black, while brown, eating while brown, while Black, praying while Black, while brown, breathing while Black, shopping at the grocery store. It's a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, a lot of frustration. So I close my eyes thinking I might be able to just meditate or simply pray it away, but there are not enough ohms or amens or amens or hallelujahs. Not enough Nuyorican quos or ashes to eradicate, alleviate, or heal the wound. Open and so fresh, yet so old, it feels as if it's a part of my DNA or a genetic disorder, an identifier of what it means to live within this particular skin I am in, as if it was tattooed on my big toe upon exiting the womb. So each time I look down at my feet, I remember my place in this world. Not at the top of the mountain, but as strange fruit hanging from the tree. See, understand what this does to you and to me, how it damages the individual, breaking up the us and the we. The body remembers the weight of the chains before you were born. It does not forget the fear that comes with being a midnight girl in a sunset town. Or why grandpa trained you to, girl, just keep your voice down. Keep your voice down. He loved you. Wanted you to be safe. He knows how this world treats smart Black girls with big mouths like yours in this place. He also taught you to believe in yourself. So girl, I see you doing the inner work to protect your mental health, With skin kissed by the sun, you shine bright. Justice is knowing you have a right to fight, to write, to speak, to remind others that they too are whole and complete. Silence can be violence. Quiet is for meditation, but we must pray with our feet if we are to change the situation. You are enough. You are worthy of more than a piece of peace. Hold your head high, not towards your feet. It's okay to cry, but remember you are already free. You need not ask for anyone's permission to exist. Just breathe. Use your wings. Fly. Fly. Fly, baby girl. Go on now. Fly. Oh, okay, I want to close with a rhyme. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. This is a lyrical meditation. And I'm moving my computer because I am I'm in LA. I don't live here. And I am at I'm in a friend's house. And a little jet lag. So I'm like grounding here. And I'm gonna ground with this lyric here. It's called lyrical meditation. I just want to write. I dream of writing tight. I fantasize and see myself living in the light, not the fame. That light is not the same, but the light coming from within. The light that radiates when the water's deep, but I dive in. Anyway, why? Put off tomorrow what you can do today, but my mind ain't focused and my thoughts seem to stray. No matter how long and how hard I pray, I just want to feel good and not have to worry. Take my time and not be in a hurry. Walk with God and walk slow. Walk in faith and walk like I know that the laws of attraction are at work. The past is the past. It can no longer hurt me. But telling, can I really be free? So I spend most of my days ignoring reality just to get myself in that high flying space so I can make loose the noose of living in this place on this earth before things get better. They sometimes get worse. Somebody call the doctor. Won't you bring the nurse? Time for healing, time, medication dispersed, but no pills, no drugs, just love. All vaccinations, we dispose of them. Put them in the trash because we's about to give the whole world a spiritual bath.
Blackman. That was beautiful. Spiritual bath indeed, with your lyricism, with your wisdom. Thank you so much for joining us. I know that you're traveling all around and making amazing things happen. Can you tell us a little bit about your work in Africa that you were telling me?
Well, I'm like a girl went on a hip hop diplomatic mission. It was myself, Polaris at last, who's actually from the Bronx, and Sincerity Garcia, who is from Brooklyn, Boston, and the Bronx, and DJ Liquid. And a lot of people know DJ Liquid in New York as well. And we toured Botswana, Equatorial Guinea, the only Spanish-speaking country on the continent of Africa. And then we went to Cameroon, which is French and English speaking. So they were able to get a taste of all the flavors. And we did workshops, we served young people, we worked with community, we went to villages, and we did concerts. And that's the kind of thing that I do. And you yourself, I know you do this work too as a teaching artist, where you go and you do artist residencies. And so this is the work of my life. It's my calling, it's my purpose, and I'm blessed to be able to do it.
We're blessed that you are able to do it, and all the lives that you have touched and affected over the years. Thank you so much, Toni Blackman, Toni with an I. Follow Toni Blackman on IG and all the work. Much love to you, my sister. Thank you so much. Yes, because honeybee, I may not be your cup of tea, but best believe that I could be your early morning cup of coffee. Hot or cold, baby, in your mug daily. Watch you drink it crazy while you're sipping, chatting with the ladies. They put it in my bottle since I was a baby. But back to Mother Africa, the beautiful diaspora we call the bean Arabica. Bittersweet like grandmothers, you know that we take after her. Black gold liquid with thoughts that we sit with. Coffee on the altar so the ancestors could sip it. Para los ancestros that watch over us, muchas gracias. This has been another edition of BEATNIX here at the Nuyorican Poets Café. I am your host, La Bruja. Thank you to our guests, Stephanie Pacheco, Edgar, Emilio, and Toni Blackman. Muchas gracias. Peace. Good night.